truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's April 6th, 2017. The big news this evening in the United States, Donald Trump has issued a military strike against Syria, firing over 50 Tomahawk cruise missiles reportedly at the base that carried out the chemical weapons attack reported earlier this week in Syria, April 4th. If you missed the videos I put out after the April 4th attack, I said to look for this kind of response from Trump. Recall, Donald Trump said that Obama's worst move while President of the United States was not attacking Syria after the chemical weapons attack of August 21st, 2013. Donald Trump said if he was president then, he would have attacked Syria. So now here, the same type of scenario, chemical weapons attack in Syria. Donald Trump's the president, and he's issued a military response. We'll see where it goes from here. The headline tonight's already saying this attack has killed Russians as well, and we're now awaiting the response from Russia. We are being led to a needless war yet again, the people of the world. For more than a century, banker tyrants have had a stranglehold on the nations of this world. At the very top of the pyramid of the wealthiest elites are the banker tyrants who rule the world with fear and intimidation and needless war because it is a mechanism for staying in power and making profit. These banker tyrants, they start wars, and then the nations they lend money to fuel the war, and then they make, oodles of money off the interest. And this is an ongoing Ponzi scheme. And out of all the world players in this game, the United States is the biggest. The biggest military war hawk. So let's get into why this planned agenda is taking place tonight. Why is this missile attack response coming April 6th, 2017? It has everything to do with Donald Trump and Secretary of Defense James Mattis. And it also has a lot to do with President Eisenhower, who gave the speech exiting office as the 34th president more than 50 years ago about the military-industrial complex, a for-profit military agenda that would grow to a monster beyond what anyone could ever imagine. And tonight's news is part of that. So check this out, Truth Seeker. Gonna break this down here. Today's date, a date with 47 numerology, very special number to Freemasonry, 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. We'll talk more about it. Once upon a time, there was a Gulf War in Iraq. The first one at the beginning of the 90s with George Herbert Walker Bush. That war lasted exactly 47 days, and not by coincidence. All of these wars are Masonic ritual. All of the nations involved are participants in the New World Order, from the United States to Iraq to Syria to Russia and more. Europe, this whole nation is pretty much, or not this whole nation, this whole world is pretty much ruled over by the banker tyrants, the New World Order, which is truly an old world order. Today's date also has 27 numerology. Syria equals 27. Syria being attacked this evening. They're now reporting 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles have been fired. Remember, 59 is the 17th prime number. Here we are in 2017. The word kill in Jewish gematria is also 59. Anyhow, Tomahawk cruise missiles in gematria sum to 322. We've seen these headlines before. Tomahawk cruise missiles fired at this nation. When I first started this work back in 2014, Obama fired 47 cruise missiles at Syria. I have an older video on that. Check it out. 47. Military-industrial complex sums to 322. Just like Tomahawk cruise missiles 322, military-industrial complex 322. 322 and 223, very important numbers to Freemasonry and the language of gematria. Done a lot of work on this. All throughout history, this number has been used to lead people astray. Before this nation even had a name, it was March 22nd, 322, 1622 that the Jamestown Massacre happened. That's supposedly where an entire town was murdered, and it was blamed on natives. And out of that blaming came a movement to kill the native populations in the region and start a new nation, a new identity. And the term Virginianers came out of that. All of a sudden, people saw themselves as Virginianers and had a mission to kill the native people around them. Something staged on March 22nd. When George Herbert Walker Bush's son was president, George W. Bush, remember he invaded Afghanistan and Iraq after the staged incident of September 11th? Operation Shock and Awe began March 22nd. The bombing of Baghdad on the 33rd parallel on March 22nd. March 22nd, 322. They're saying the ship that fired these Tomahawk cruise missiles tonight is the USS Ross, which launched on March 22nd, 1996. Here we are, a 322 attack on April 6th, the 96th day of the year. We're going to talk about the significance of 96 as well. Has a lot to do with Mad Dog Mattis. CNN's putting up graphics like this, always putting these needless numbers and information you need to know. How relevant is it that it travels at 550 miles per hour? Why don't they show us how much of our taxpayer dollars are being wasted instead? Wouldn't you like to see that? Each one of these missiles could have built a school. Each one of these missiles could have sent 1,000 children to 4 years of university. Each one of these missiles could have saved 1 million people dying from this disease, etc. You know what I mean? So here we are, April 6th, the 96th day of the year, Mad Dog 96, Freemason 96. If you take the numbers that divide into 42, they sum to 96. Remember, Freemason's also 42 the small way. So is World War. So is war. So is the Crusades. Show you something about Mad Dog Mattis in regards to the Crusades. His birthday is September 8th. Currently 66 years old. Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction. There's a prophecy about Syria and Damascus, and the destruction of Damascus will signal, we're approaching the end times. We have the Donald Trump Mike Pence ticket, the Trump-Pence ticket. Trumpets are the warnings in Revelation. Anyway, September 8th is the Virgin Mary's birthday. Her son Jesus said he came to bring the sword. Have you ever noticed that Mary and Army have the same letters? Check this out. From today's attack until General Mattis's upcoming birthday, the Virgin Mary's birthday, is 155 days. Christianity equals 155. When the last Republican president was in office, he was very clear. He explained that this was a war against Islam. It came right out of his own mouth. Christianity versus Islam. The Freemason Albert Pike, the Civil War general, said there would be a third world war. He foreshadowed all 3 world wars before they happened. He said the third one would be Christianity versus Islam. Here we are, Syria, biblical territory, Islamic nation, Christian nation invading. So Christianity, gematria of 155 days until the general's birthday, which is the Virgin Mary's birthday. That's also a span of 156 days. The number 33 connects to 156. The name of the air base that was bombed tonight has 33 gematria, which we'll get to. From General Mattis's last birthday, his 66th, until today is 211 days, which is the 47th prime number. Today's date, again, the date of this attack, 47 numerology. Very special number. So on CNN this evening, they've been talking to this former General Mark Hertling. He's been down in Orlando, Florida. Remember last year, Donald Trump went to Orlando, Florida, and said that we needed to have torture legitimized as a policy for interrogation. There's terrorists out there, he said, that we need to get the information out of, and, certain methods of torture are very effective. It's no coincidence this evening that CNN's going to the retired general down in Orlando. All of these narratives are intertwined. The false flag terrorism, the war against Islam, taking away our liberties, telling us that we need to implement torture as a national policy. Right after Trump did that last year, there was the shooting in Orlando that they said was the worst act of terrorism and death since 9/11. Anyhow, Orlando, Florida has that gematria of 144, very relevant to the April 4th attack, which today's news is a response to, and also very relevant to General Mattis, which I covered when he was first appointed by Trump. Tonight's attack, the airfield, the name of it has gematria of 88, like the name Trump. This attack is happening in Syria early in their morning on April 7th, which is a date with 48 numerology. The name Donald Trump equals 48. Big news for Donald Trump, well synced up with his election, or better put, selection. They're also saying this attack tonight, or early Syrian time, happened at 4:40 in the morning Syrian time. 4-4. Remember, kill 44, military 44, genocide 44, execution 44. Dar caught that the word strike also has gematria 44 in reverse. That's a new one for me. Great catch. A military strike. Boom. This news, it also comes 148 days since Trump was elected. Donald J. Trump, his author name that he uses. 148 days since election. Trump attacking Syria, you know, some of the stuff he ran on, that he's going to take care of these terrorists, he's going to go after Al-Qaeda, ISIS, etc. The name of this airbase, it also has some other things coded into it in addition to the 88. El Shirat, if you just leave off the airbase, sums to 138, just like Donald Trump. I mean, just look at this, how staged and choreographed and planned out really is all of this for it to sync up this way. And understand, when you look at history, this is what's done again and again. Al Shirat 138 like Donald Trump, like federal. El Shirat also 33 like federal. Remember, this is 156 days from the general's birthday. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. We were talking about the 322, you know, the military vessel, the Navy ship that fired the Tomahawk cruise missiles, launched on March 22nd, military industrial complex 322, Tomahawk cruise missiles 322. The other day, it was the Syria gas attack, which also has the gematria of 223. They said the survivors were taken to Turkey, which is where Philadelphia is from, which is named in the Bible. In Revelation, there's a letter written to the Church of Philadelphia about the false Jews ruling in the end times, you know, before the destruction of the earth. Letter written to the Church of Philadelphia. Philadelphia has the gematria of 223, just like the Synagogue of Satan, the name for the false Jews that the letter's written about. Again, these numbers very important to Freemasonry. Freemasonry is based in Jewish history, Solomon's Temple. There's this major overlap between Freemasonry and the Jewish faith. Masonic, also 223. The chemical weapons attack supposedly came 74 days after Trump took office. Masonic 74, Jewish 74, killing 74. Where the attack happened was Khan Shaykhun, right? Khan Shaykhun on April 4th. Khan Shaykhun 144. The last time in 2013 it was Ghouta, Syria 144. April 4th 144. 44 when written out sums to 144. Our military number. Today's attack at 4:40 in the morning. Sarin gas attack on April 4th. Sarin gas attack 144. Our number that represents time. Time's a killer. Chemical weapons attack in Jewish gematria is 1440. You know, military 44, kill 44, execution 44. You see? All of this stuff is being done according to biblical prophecy. And of course, Syria right in the heart of biblical territory. you know. Damascus, written about in the Bible. The 2013 attack just outside of Damascus. Bashar al-Assad, his birthday, September 11th, no surprise. Look at this now. With regards to Mad Dog Mattis and all of this 144, look at this right here. The name Mad Dog, using ordinal gematria, English ordinal 44. This old post right here, it says simple English gematria. Simple English gematria is the true name of ordinal gematria. And just to show you this, again, English is 74 in ordinal. Gematria is 74. So is the word simple, what it's really called. Simple English gematria. But anyway, Mad Dog's 44, like military, like kill. Secretary of Defense, what he is, has gematria of 193, which is the 44th prime number. Think about it. 193, the 44th prime. James N. Mattis is how you'll commonly see his screen written, or his name written on TV in the media. James N. Mattis, 144. You see? All throughout history, these same numbers coded again and again and used ritualistically. And these are all the numbers that represent time, because these are all rituals in time by the powers that shouldn't be who are ruling in this time. See my video from a couple months ago when James N. Mattis was being sworn in and John McCain asked him if he was aware of the New World Order. He deliberately used that language. Are you privy to what's going on with the New World Order? The recent New World Order struggles? And James Madison is like, I am definitely aware of the New World Order. Of course they are. These are New World Order agents. Watch that video. It's on my channel. You know, just search James Mattis, Zachary K. Hubbard. It's going to pop up. John McCain's questioning him. John McCain needed to know if he was down with the New World Order before he could pass him along. It's interesting that he's from, I documented this months ago, that they met in this town of Bedminster the first time they met, a location with 46 gematria. Think about what today is, April 6th, 4/6. Telling you guys, all these rituals are this way. Mad Dog was a Marine for 44 years of service before getting this position. You see what I mean? He had to earn his stripes by the numbers. He had to put in his 44 years. He also served as a commander of Major NATO Strategic Command. Who knows what day NATO was established? Who wants to guess what day NATO was established before I get there? It's loading. I'll give you a clue. One of the numbers is 4. NATO date of establishment. It happened in 1949 on April 4th. 4-4. You know who the old military commander of NATO is? Wesley Clark. What do you think his name equals in gematria? Wesley Clark. 44. Just like military. Isn't that beautiful? That's the old commander of NATO. All these New World Order agents named appropriately. But again, with all the 47, today's date having 47 numerology in the U.S., the date it's launched, it being 4/7 in Syria, the day it's happening, 47 comes back to the Freemason compass and square, set at 47 degrees. They say it's the pole star that's represented at the top of the compass. Pole star equals 47. The Freemasons have Euclid's 47th problem about how to establish a foundation using the pole star or the North Star. Foundation 47 framework. So many wars in the past have been centered around this number because all of modern recorded history is Freemasonry. Again, World War 42, Freemason 42, History 42, Knowledge 42, and this war machine, it's all economics. It's all dollars and cents. Economics 42, Freemasons, the invisible architects of society. They pride themselves, you know, on their building accomplishments. The word new is 42 as well. Think New World Order. War 42. Gun 42. So anyhow, coming back to 47 real quick. The Freemasons, where this 47 comes from time, is the world we live in. The tropics, which measure the seasons, which measure the solstices, are at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south, 47 degrees apart. The word times 47. This is the basis of the code. You know, we're talking about how today has 27 numerology. They're laying down the foundation. Military strike to start the intervention. Square 27, Euclid 27. 47th problem of Euclid. Whole lot more to it. The Zionist nation of Israel, established in 47 on November 29th, the 333rd day of the year. Remember, Freemasonry, Judaism, major overlap. The compass, which is set at 47 degrees, represents circumscribe our desires and keep our passions within due bounds. That's according to this Freemasonic website. That motto sums to 333. Just like the 47th problem of Euclid sums to 333, they created the Zionist nation of Israel on the 333rd day of 47 with a 33-member vote by the United Nations. That was just after the Arab League was drawn up on March 22nd, 1945. You see, Freemasonry, building the New World Order. After the World Wars, the Middle East was recarved up, new boundaries, new leaders, you know, a bunch of wars, getting people under their control, under their system, and taking time to do it. Now here we are in 2017, and we're ready to take a big new step, you know, for the ongoing agenda. That's why we, the people of the world, need to shut it down. So obvious how contrived this is, how it's all based on false fear, lies, deception, tyranny in high places. Donald Trump doesn't have anything to do with today's news. It could have been a different puppet stooge in there, but they gave us this orange Oompa Loompa for a reason. You know? This guy's a puppet stooge too, born on September 11th. It's all part of the mocking. See my old work from 2014 on al-Assad and Gaddafi and the Arab League. Important speech to watch. And what was going on that day many years ago. You got to love that this USS Ross was also ordered on April 4th, a date that can be written 8/4 or 4/8. Remember, United States of America equals 84, just like Masonry's 84, just like Zionism's 84, and the flip of 84 is 48, Donald Trump 48. April 7th, 2017, where the missiles are touching down, date with 48 numerology. And again, the base that got hit has the 138 gematria. Donald Trump is the chosen puppet and was likely born and groomed to be for this position. There's that commercial from 2010 where Donald Trump is clearly shown to be the next president. You've missed my work on that, his 2010 CERTA commercial, and how it foreshadowed his rig selection. Check it out. But the more you start to think about and acknowledge about what's going on here, you see how all of this stuff can be planned out well in advance. These people are all named and birthed accordingly. Same numbers coded into all of them. It's sick, Truth Seeker. War by numbers. Each one of those Tomahawk cruise missiles could have been a school or something else, you know? Could have been education of 100 new doctors. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.